Skinner and the Superintendent. A romance steamed to perfection. An erotic story by 7K. Seymour had been running through all of the possible scenarios in his head for the evening when he heard his doorbell. He opened the door to see Chalmers with a rather phallic bottle of wine. Chalmers looked to see Seymour's beautiful, deep black eyes. After staring deep into his eyes, he felt vulnerable and looked for something to criticize. "Well, Seymour, I made it, despite your directions." Seymour was a little hurt, but didn't let it get to him. He sat Chalmers down and went into the kitchen to check on the dinner. It was then, to his horror, that he seen that his roast was ruined. How could he have let this happen? Why did he spend so much time fantasizing about the evening instead of watching his roast like he should have? How was he supposed to show Chalmers that he was more than a buffoon with his head in the clouds after this? But just then, the rush of thoughts stopped. What if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking? Delightfully devilish, Seymour. Without any hesitation, he began to climb out of the window when, just then, Chalmers walked into the room to see his tightened and extended buttocks. This was a beautiful moment for Chalmers. The single image brought back a rush of memories of their previous interactions. It felt as if time had slowed down, and that there were a choir of angels singing just for them in this moment. Seymour, Superintendent, I was just... He took a moment to swallow his excess saliva. "Stretching my calves on the windowsill. Isometric exercise. Care to join me?" It is in this moment that Chalmers was able to pull his gaze away from Skinner and onto the oven. "Why is there smoke coming out of your oven, Seymour?" That isn't smoke. That's steam from the steamed clams we'll be having. Steamed clams." Chalmers knew he was lying, as he wasn't an idiot, but he wanted the dinner to go smoothly, so he just let Seymour do his thing and ignored the overpowering scent of smoke in his burning, watery eyes and turned to enter the dining area. After approximately 3 minutes, Seymour entered the dining area, silver platter in hand. "Superintendent, I hope you're ready for some mouth-watering hamburgers. I thought we were having steamed clams." No, I said we were having steamed hams, as in hamburgers. Why would I say steamed clams? That'd be quite the romantic meal, and it's not like I'd want anything. That's just that'd be weird. He then took the longest, slowest sip of wine humanly possible. Chalmers was confused by the fairy, sweaty man before him. Whether he was sweating from the heat of the fire or the heat of the desire was anyone's guess. If Chalmers was to find out if Seymour really felt the same for him, he'd have to isolate how much of his nervousness came from the lies. "You call hamburgers steamed hams?" "Yes, it's a regional dialect." "Uh-huh. What region?" "Upstate New York." "Really? Because I'm from Unica and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams." "No, not from Unica. It's an Albany expression." "I see." He took a big bite of his hamburger to hide the grin on his face. The superintendent slammed the steamed ham down on the table. "Cut the crap, Skinner. We both know the real reason why you invited me over." "I don't know what you're referring to." "Don't play games with me, Skinner. I've seen the way you look at me." The superintendent leaped onto the mound of steamed ham, separating the two horny men, striking a sultry pose. The impact crushed most of the steamed hams, causing the condiments to shoot out everywhere. A geyser of mayonnaise and crusty sauce went directly in Skinner's face. These condiments made him think of other things. "I know you want to steam my ham, Skinner. But you're my boss and mother is home and the house is on fire. I don't care. Now kiss me or you're fired." Skinner leaned in to give his Super Nintendo a tender kiss. "Seymour!" "What?" "As I was saying, you called these steamed hams despite the fact that they're obviously grilled." Seymour realized that he was daydreaming again and couldn't tell how much of the past conversation was real or not. One thing I should... Excuse me for a second." "Of course." Seymour went into the kitchen to get things straight in his head when he was reminded that a fire raged within, just like the lust which raged within his heart. Almost symbolic, isn't it? Well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped. Yeah, I really should... Good lord, what is happening in there? Aurora Borealis. Chalmers marveled at this for a moment, as perhaps if the Northern Lights could exist at this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within his kitchen, then maybe then the love between a principal and his superintendent could also work out. May I see it? No. So then the two men said their goodbyes, both having things they wished they had said but couldn't. Neither made the impression that they wanted to. Chalmers still seemed to be a grump, and Seymour still seemed to be an odd fellow. It was unclear as to whether the seeds planted in this meeting would blossom into anything else down the line, but one thing was for certain. This truly was an unforgettable luncheon.
Also, there was a fire truck.